Romantic love is an addiction, a perfectly wonderful addiction when it's going well, and a perfectly horrible addiction when it's going poorly. Romantic love is an obsession. It possesses you. You lose your sense of self. You can't stop thinking about another human being. When you massage someone, the levels of oxytocin go up in the brain, and oxytocin is one of the chemicals that drives attachment. Any kind of novelty or excitement drives up dopamine in the brain, and dopamine is associated with romantic love. We're apt to fall in love with those who are mysterious and challenging to us. Globalization requires taking a broad, contextual, and long-term view. Saliva has testosterone and estrogen. When you kiss, you're having a chemical experience. Touch is the mother of the senses. Not only are women more sensitive when they touch, but they're also more sensitive to being touched. You don't come home from the office to spend time with another job. Hopefully you come home to someone you can have a good time with. There are cognitive processes and limbic reactions associated with basic emotions, and you can change brain chemistry, but you're still not going to change memories and experiences in a human being. For so many generations, a woman's only career path was to marry well and to marry up. Those days have changed. I think romantic love evolved to enable you to focus your mating energy on just one individual at a time, thereby conserving mating time and energy. Along with our many human propensities, we evolved a huge cerebral cortex with which we make decisions. Hair that looks like it's been naturally sun-bleached makes you seem youthful, like you spend a lot of time outdoors, and that appeals to most people. It's almost as if men who get tribal tattoos are trying to signal that they are dangerous, they're to be respected, and they're powerful. Both sexes like the exercise and challenge of sports, but for men it's also a basic display behavior for impressing and winning a mate. Jealousy can even be good for love. One partner may feel secretly flattered when the other is mildly jealous, and catching someone flirting with your beloved can spark the kind of lust and romance that reignites a relationship nobody gets out of. Love alive. You turn into a menace or a pest when you've been rejected. Men want to think women don't cheat, and women want men to think they don't cheat, and therefore, the sexes have been playing a little psychological game with each other. You know, when you've been dumped, the one thing you love to do is just forget about this human being and then go on with your life, but no, you just love them harder. Kissing is not just kissing. It is a major escalation or de-escalation point in a powerful process of mate choice. We evolved in a tropical climate where the smells of plants and flowers were all around us. We spend a lot of time in the trees with a lot of sunlight and no clothes. Blushing is thought to be linked to increased levels of norepinephrine in the brain, which may be associated with romantic feelings. It signals that we are interested and excited, which is attractive to men. You size up someone physically in less than 1 second to tall, too short to fat, to thin, too old to young, too stuffy to scruffy. Men are so visual. They see a woman who appeals to them physically, and it will trigger the romantic love system faster. I don't think we're an animal that was built to be happy. We are an animal that was built to reproduce. Men and women are like two feet. They can help each other get ahead. Sometimes we fall in love with somebody who will probably never love us for reasons having nothing to do with us but with their own mindset, their chemistry. The reason you take antidepressants is to feel calm and romantic. Love is not calm, it's elation. It's mood swings, and you're killing all that when you take the drug. When you fight, anger drives up testosterone in both men and women. Falling in love was not really a choice, it just struck me. The internet lets women use words, which is their natural tool. Little girls speak in more complex grammatical sentences than little boys do. and women never lose that superiority in verbal ability. Research shows that couples who have a lot of similarities, including intellectual compatibility, end up staying together. Most of us make up our minds in the first 3 minutes of meeting someone, whether there's a potential for a relationship. Neither gender is routinely more jealous, although women are more willing to work to win back a lover, while men tend to flaunt their money and status and are more likely to walk out to protect their self-esteem or save face. Natural beauty really entices men. They will tell you this time and time again, and studies consistently prove it. As social animals, we need to exchange juicy tales about someone to connect with one another. For millions of years, our forebears must have sat around the campfire, whispering about everyone they knew. Women like signs of money and education, things that indicate that not only is this guy going to have some resources, but he's also willing to share them. Of all the foods we share, there is nothing more primordial than meat. It's no surprise that meat eaters still want a partner who will give, receive, and share this primordial symbol of a budding partnership. At first, I assumed hate was the opposite of love, but it isn't. The opposite of love is indifference. When you look at the brain regions associated with picking up data from the body, a huge amount of the brain is devoted to picking up information from the lips and tongue. Overdone lipstick is a deterrent to men. It rubs off easily onto their skin and the edges of their shirts, so it discourages them from kissing, touching, and coming closer to you, which is what they really want to do. 100 years ago, if you had a child out of marriage, you'd be a social disgrace. Today, women feel comfortable enough economically and culturally to bring up a child without a recognized commitment from a man. You've got to remember that men are men and women are women, and although a lot of similarities, there are some real differences. People live for love, they kill for love, they die for love. They have songs, poems, novels, sculptures, paintings, myths, legends. It's one of the most powerful brain systems on earth for both great joy and great sorrow. Helen Elizabeth Fisher, born May 31, 1945. Fisher is an American anthropologist, human behavior researcher, and self-help author. She is a biological anthropologist, is a senior research fellow at the Kinsey Institute, Indiana University, and a member of the Center for Human Evolutionary Studies in the Department of Anthropology at Rutgers University. Prior to Rutgers University, she was a research associate at the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. She studies the biology of love and attraction. In 2005, she was hired by Match.com to help build Chemistry.com, which used her research and experience to create both hormone-based and personality-based matching systems. She was one of the main speakers at the 2006 and 2008 TED Conference. On January 30, 2009, she was featured in an ABC News 2020 special, Why Him? Why Her? The Science of Seduction, where she discussed her most recent research on brain chemistry and romantic love. She appears in the 2014 documentary film about heartbreak and loneliness, entitled Sleepless in New York, and the 2017 PBS Nova special on computerized dating, How to Find Love Online. Fisher earned a B in anthropology and psychology from New York University in 1968, and MA in physical anthropology, cultural anthropology, linguistics, and archaeology from the University of Colorado at Boulder in 1972, and a PhD in physical anthropology, human evolution, primatology, human sexual behavior, and reproductive strategies from the University of Colorado at Boulder in 1975.